Mi mamo, mi mu mami.
Mi mu mami, mi mamo. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Geek Cypher.
Yeah.
As you can see, Dave is here again with his insanity. He's very excited. He messaged me early to say that he was going to be repping for Deadpool hard this week because we all saw the movie. This is going to be a spoiler heavy episode because we have all seen the movie. We are going to be talking about the movie, so we are telling you in advance. There's no secrets about it. There's no jokes about it. Spoilers. We're going to be talking about the film. But first, we're going to start with some headlines, some news. We're going to get through that stuff right off the top and then get into it. So, first thing, Jaws, I'll let you start because I actually didn't get a chance to watch the first trailer and the one that's listed, Like a Dragon, Yakuza.
Yeah, so this is based off the video game series Yakuza, which has now been renamed to Like a Dragon to match what's going on in Japan. And it's basically based off the Sega video game series. And you play as main protagonist Kira, if I remember right. I can't remember. I forgot his name already. But I think it's probably taken the same storyline as the first game, where he goes to jail for a crime he doesn't commit. He comes out and he's got to kind of relearn the whole world, fish out of water in, I guess, early 2000s. So they're actually making a Prime video movie, TV show, miniseries of it.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. I mean, like I've said in the past, Prime has been very good when they're doing adaptations recently.
Mm-hmm.
At least recently. I like when I think back to some of the older stuff, maybe not as strong, but the most recent stuff has been really, really good.
I mean, it has a lot of strong points, right? Because doesn't have technically Boys is on Prime.
Boys, Invincible,
Batman, the new Batman Crusader,
the Crusade,
out on the first is going to be there.
They were supposed to do Silk, which unfortunately got canned, but that would have been the Spider-Man Spider-Man IP that would have been on there. And I believe they would have done a good job with it. I truly believe that if you give Amazon a chance to do something, Amazon and Apple are two places that will stay true to the IPs. The only problem is they have some of the lowest subscription numbers. Well, Amazon's better now because they kind of trick people into being subscribers, but yeah.
They won't Netflix you.
No, but they do trick you. They do trick you because you sign up for Amazon Prime and you automatically get Prime with that, but most people don't even realize that. Like, I know a lot of people that don't know Prime Video is part of their Amazon Prime subscription for faster delivery.
Yeah, I do know that there's also some other Yakuza series that are based off of this series in Japan. I think there's like two other ones. There's like a small TV movie and maybe a movie as well. So It's not the first ever that they have ever done of this. Very popular.
Okay. The Day of the Jackal is coming out on Peacock. It's going to be... It's a remake of the Jackal series with Bruce Willis?
I think so. Yeah, of that movie that came out in the 90s with him and
I think it was Harrison.
No, wasn't Harrison.
I know Jack Black is in it.
I was about to say Jack Black. It was his first movie.
Yeah,
and I know it was filmed in Montreal.
Yeah,
that's true.
And it's one of the reasons Bruce Willis liked to film in Montreal because the whole 9 yards and the whole 10 yards or whatever, the sequel, those were both filmed in Montreal because of how much fun he had filming in Montreal, from my understanding, for the Jackal. But I don't know I don't remember who else was in that movie, which I feel bad about.
The main guy is like a really big name.
Richard Gere?
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. Because you said Harrison Ford, and I was like, who else was the Harrison Ford of that era? I was like, Richard Gere. That's hilarious. Yeah, Richard Gere.
So basically, the Jackal is an assassin, and usually, at least in that movie, I think Richard Gere played an Irishman that was part of the NRA, and he was trying to hunt him down and try to get to him before he makes his next big kill.
Yeah. And then we have Creature Commandos, which a lot of people are very excited for. Creature Commandos, which I thought was going to be live action. When I saw that it was an animated film feature.
Isn't it a TV series? Am I wrong?
Yeah, so I
I have no idea.
because the whole thing is James Gunn now running DC Studios, which also got a new logo for their
Mhm.
official DC Studios launch, which everyone's very excited about because it's the original classic DC logo that we
DC
all know.
Shield.
Yeah, the shield.
Which is really smart because like his reasoning for needing to brand was really smart. Like he's trying to Marvel it. Eh? Let's all know where we're going. That's
All one house,
there's no
which
need.
Marvel is undoing because they're going to have Marvel Studios, Marvel Animation, and Marvel Television, which I think is a mistake. But anyways, we will discuss that after. But yeah, I Creature Commandos. I didn't really realize that it was going to be what it is, and I'm okay, I guess. I kind of was expecting live action though. I'm not going to lie.
So the thing that confuses me about it is that it's basically the Suicide Squad, but with Universal monsters. That's the
Yeah,
vibe I kind of get, and then
That's-
Weasel's in there for just because.
It's Weasel.
It's a different Weasel.
Oh, it's a different Weasel. Okay, I thought it was the same Weasel because they got Flag in there. And I was like, I don't.
Oh no, you're right. It is the same Weasel then. That's a good point.
It's Weasel, Flag, and what's her name? Amanda Wallace. And then it seems like everybody else is like Universal monster people.
Right. And that's the same flag that they're bringing
I would
back.
assume. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't. There's no info. It's just here you go. I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, shout outs. We got a nod for all the Deadpool love. I got my whole Deadpool my Deadpool attire, the red, silver, and I even got a Gambit pin. Repping for Gambit
I
over here.
didn't get the memo.
Well, I mean, only
If I
us-
got the memo, I would have came in with shades and have a fake sword. Hint, hint. You already did the spoiler
kidding.
warning at the beginning.
Yes, big reminder. Spoilers. We're going to be talking about the movie completely. Oh yeah, Pulp Fiction, right?
Okay.
Repping Tarantino,
There you go.
which
The
I
one thing that they weren't
Yep.
allowed to talk about, which is the coke, right? Like,
yeah, true. Yeah, okay, that kind of works in. We'll get to it. We'll talk about cocaine in a second, kids. So as we mentioned, the logo for DC is now the DC Shield with the stars, that throwback logo that we all love. James Gunn has made it the official logo for DC Studios. When, like you were saying, when he needed a logo for this new division, quote unquote new division, he went to the classic, which I know a lot of people were very excited for when he announced it. So we're looking forward to that. I think that's really cool.
they also wrapped up filming Superman. this week as
Superman
well.
is wrapped.
In
They've
the
wrapped
end.
filming on Superman, which is pretty big. Which is also funny though, because both Superman and the Fantastic Four First Steps are expected July 2025, so a year from now. But Superman's finished filming, and Fantastic Four First Steps hasn't even started filming. They started filming right now.
Yeah, but like I think with the Superman they're gonna double tap it a few times in production, right? Like I think James Gunn really wants that one to, lack of a better term, soar or jump to the highest bounds that it possibly can. So
I don't doubt it. I'm just concerned about the idea that Marvel, who has been tripping a little lately.
Mhm. A little lately.
I'm being nice. I'm being nice.
You're being
I'm being
too nice.
I'm being nice, Jaws.
They've been fumbling, man.
Yeah, essentially.
We're gonna have to talk.
Oh no, we're gonna talk. We will, but they've been fumbling the last couple films. You can see it in the numbers.
Film shows.
Yeah,
I
like
Deadpool does.
Mhm.
I mean, I think the hate has been more risen in a couple of the films, and the fumble was Secret Invasion.
but it's not just Secret Invasion. There's a lot. The
Black Widow, bro.
yeah, the reaction on like everything in the last phase has been mid. I love the Marvels, but that's been the reaction. But let's.
Yeah,
I don't
sorry.
want to go into that yet. All that to say, the fact that you are filming a movie 1 year before it's supposed to release, you started filming now. You're going to film the whole movie, then go into post production after it's done, then have to do all the graphics and all that stuff, and you're giving yourself a 1 year lead. I know it can be done, but this is the type of stuff, and you guys work in the industry, you can tell me better than anyone. This is the type of stuff we hear a lot of people talking about, the burnout, and why there's a lot of people trying to unionize in those fields, specifically because they feel that they get burnt out with this stuff. So,
Well, it's not to say that filming and post production are two different things. So you can't really even though they're filming
Of
now,
course.
there's always work that's been going on and
Look,
prior
that's what
to
I.
that.
But they
Yeah.
go so
But that's what I said. There's
Mhm.
pre-production, filming, and post-production.
Yeah.
but they go so
All those are stages that take
All
their
the-
own time and take a significant amount of time if you want to do them properly. You can do them fast, and you can do it, but it's expensive if you do it fast. And if you're
I'll
giving
throw this
yourself
out there.
a year, go Skinny.
In a film where 80% of this shit is CGI, right?
Right.
What are we really filming?
and what's already been created, and at the same time, they could always push back if they really wanted to the release date.
They can't. They can't push back. If they push back,
Like-
it's gonna be bad.
To play off on what Skinny's saying is that you don't really need the actors. You could have stand-ins. You're going to be doing a lot of blue screen, motion cap, et cetera, et cetera. So
Of course.
no,
No. I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I understand everything everyone's saying, but you can also do that for Superman. You can also do that for every other movie in the Marvel universe that we've seen. And having just listened to the audiobook for MCU by Joanna Robinson, where they specifically explain they dropped the ball because of the way they've been doing all these projects, because they're overworking these people and underpaying them. Hearing that they're going back to the same exact model that she talks about in the book being bad for them and burning their relationships concerns me.
I do agree with Brian though, because I do think it takes time, even if they're not necessarily using the actors. It still takes time to put it all together, and I feel like a year
out,
like a year is almost like they're setting themselves up for failure. To me, I think a year of filming, it's gonna end up being a bad movie. But
it's a tight turnover with a year, in my
I
opinion.
mean, it is the Fantastic Four way. I mean,
but this was supposed to be the good one, finally. Isn't that
No. The good one, the
I was
best
really
one is
looking
the
forward to it.
McCormick one. Boom, done.
No, I'm not.
1994? Are you
The
saying
McCormick
1994?
I'm not listening to
Yes.
you crazy people with your 94
Best
love.
one. Best one.
God.
Only one to get Dr. Doom right. Keep it moving.
Oh Lord.
They put some respect on Victor Von Doom.
Speaking of Doom, let's just go into it. Let's talk about it. I can't believe Skinny stepped out for a second, but RDJ, Robert Downey Jr., announced that came on stage when the Russo brothers, by the way, I feel like we should talk about the fact that those guys are back, but obviously RDJ was the bigger thing that drew people's attention. But the Russo brothers have been brought back to direct 2 Avengers films. They're going to be coming back for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Skinny called it. Skinny's been saying since day one it's going to be Secret Wars. He's been saying for years that they're going to do it. So kudos to him. Flowers. He's not here, but we'll give it to him after. But when they announced the Doomsday, they also brought out the man who would be playing Victor Von Doom, which led to some of the most confusion I've ever seen on the internet, because the actor playing Victor Von Doom is Robert Downey Jr.
Here's the thing. So first of all, the only reason why the brothers are there is because apparently RDJ said the only reason he'd go and do it is because of that. I think the internet
$80 million paycheck though is still pretty steep for someone that is brought along because the actor said I'll only do it if they show up.
Well, I mean, they have to divide that by 2, Brian.
And there's also a bunch of other perks I heard he gets as well.
Yes,
like
jet
extra security.
He gets his own. He gets his own camping lot. Like when they made the Avengers movies, he had they got a bunch of trailers to go around to make a circle, and his trailer was in the center of that circle. He would call people for parties at his lot, and I guarantee you, he's doing the exact same thing this time.
Oh,
but
I'll ask this though, real quick. If you think he's doing that, they're not all coming back though.
Yeah, but it's gonna. I mean more. It's going to be a heavy cast. If you're doing Secret Wars, it has to be a heavy cast.
It has to be.
You can't do Secret Wars without at least 15 people.
It's going to be Endgame level.
Yeah,
it's going to be Infinity War Endgame level
because you're going to have at least 10 good guys and at least 5 bad guys, because you can't have one bad guy in that.
Yeah,
with Secret Wars, it's not, or unless you go completely against what Secret Wars was about.
I mean, they did it for Civil War. They didn't do Civil War the way it's done in the comic book. And and for those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, Civil War in the comic book has a very different story from the movie. Secret Wars that they're going to bring, some are expecting it to stay true. I think they're going to change it just enough that now that they have all the characters, I think it'd be cool for them to do it almost the original way. But I think that would be too many people.
Yeah.
They already pushed it with Endgame. Like, I love Endgame, I love Infinity Wars, but there's definitely characters that were given smaller stories or didn't get fleshed out as much. And there's definitely moments where in those movies you felt like, oh, you're just doing that for fan service and not doing it because it moves the story along.
But at the same time, like, if they're gonna make these movies, and again, I don't know how they're gonna do it because the movie slate is not as like when you had Infinity Wars and Endgame.
Yeah,
you did have like 20 movies where you fleshed out the characters first, right? Like, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, like, not every character needed the same amount of screen time because you already had X amount with the other ones, right? So it's like you got to read the prequels before you went into this movie.
Fair.
Now, is Secret Wars going to be the same? Who knows? Maybe they're going to bank on the concept that some characters based off of even phase. Well, we'll call it the big phase one there, like the actual. Like, I'm curious how much they're going to bring back from characters from before Endgame, Infinity War. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm concerned. I'm concerned they want to bring back those characters. That's my thing. I'm worried that they're going to try and bring back Chris Evans. They're going to want to bring back Ruffalo's still around, so that's fair.
God,
Yeah,
I hope not.
But Ruffalo is still around because he's still
on contract.
No, not
though.
Ruffalo specifically, but like characters
Chris
like Captain
Evans.
America, or even just Chris Evans.
Well, I mean, Chris Evans,
like Scarlett Johansson variant from another timeline, Secret Wars.
I wouldn't mind
that's what I'm saying. Are they just gonna?
But they're gonna do it. You know they're gonna do it. You know they're gonna have a cameo with Scarlett Johansson. I imagine. I don't want it, and it's not because it's not that I don't want it because I think that these characters are bad or that the acting was bad, but I don't want it because
they did their time.
Yes, and I'll say this
like
super
prison.
quick. Yeah,
I was about to say the same.
Jaws, you heard though when some of the people were talking about how they're locked in for 5 projects, and they were like, if I had known before that this would be this long, maybe I wouldn't have signed on for 5. They did feel like, they did feel like prison sentences for some of them. I'm sure
prison sentences
with big paychecks,
bathing on money, and sleeping on diamonds.
Obviously, we're exaggerating.
Any movie you want to do going forward because
get that Woody,
slap them in the face with your Disney like mouse hand.
But that Woody Harrelson gif where he's just like bathing him, dabbing his eyes with money.
But we all say that, and yes, don't get me wrong, these make a lot of money and live their best lives. But if you're an actor and this is your craft, and you like to act and you like to do different performances and you like to challenge yourself, and you sign a contract to do 5 movies, and that turns into 10 years of your life, you may not necessarily feel like this is the freedom. The money might feel great.
Jackson Wolverine is my only rebuttal to that.
I feel like Scarlet Witch kind of maneuvered that somehow. Like, she did other stuff too besides.
I mean, a lot of them did other stuff, but like, how many? This is the thing. We're not their agents, and we don't see everything. How many projects do you think they had to say no to because of an Avengers movie or one of their own movies? That's the thing that and again, yes, they wiped away the tears with the money they got. I get it, but
Evans did a lot. I know Evans did a lot.
Yeah. Not Glass Onions. What's Knives Out? He did a bunch.
He also did supporting stuff. There was that,
but also
Spaceman or whatever, that assassination.
I was gonna say also this might tie in with your thoughts about their filming being too short or too.
Like, tight. I do feel it's tight.
Maybe that's probably like, okay, well, we don't have these people for that long. We gotta knock it out, and then they can go on to do their other. I mean, it's always movie making is never static. It's very fluid, and you gotta jump in where you get in and jump out.
100%. And in the 80s,
right with rafting.
In the 80s, you had like Michael J. Fox filming a TV show and then going to film Back to the Future at night. Right after filming his TV show, never giving up, just constantly working. I can't imagine doing like 20-hour days.
That's when you had talent, though, right?
Yeah, and his
that's
show.
That's also passion, though.
Yes,
like when you really love what you do, you can breathe, live, eat, sleep it like 24/7.
So maybe we could all along all Marvel got so lucky that every one of these actors has that type of passion and is more than happy to stay on. But as someone who's watching those movies, I would ask them, you don't have to. Please don't use your passion to move on to other projects, because to me, it seems like a lot of going back to the well And if you keep going back to the well, guess what? You never venture out.
Yeah.
But you know what's keeping them?
Yeah, I know the money. I know
exactly.
The
But
money.
thing is,
it's hard to turn 100 million. They're saying plus all the perks.
Yeah,
Jaws. Like,
think about it though. Like for some of these people, it's like example RDJ.
Yeah.
This is the thing that revitalized my career. You can't deny it.
facts.
Chris Evans, it assisted putting him on the map. I feel like he would have gotten on the map regardless,
Yeah.
but it definitely put him on the map.
Yes.
Scarlett Johansson,
Higher.
yes, it was a paycheck. Chris Hemsworth, definitely.
Scarlett Johansson.
No, she was pretty popular. She was on her own. She would have. Been
I would
fine
say.
without.
I would say though, her
Yeah.
and Chris Evans were on a similar level at the time because they actually did movies together when they're. Would you feel Scarlett Johansson was that much more famous than
Yes.
Chris
Yeah.
I
Evans?
think so.
I would say yeah.
She was
Okay.
the pretty girl who had talent, whereas
I would say
If
she
you
was
go-
popular because she was attractive. I don't know that
Yes.
she was popular because she was a
More
popular
that.
actress. Yes,
mm,
because that and I
Whether it
feel
was whether it was her looks or
Fair,
her
yes.
talent,
Still more
she
famous.
was definitely more famous than
Yeah.
Chris Evans.
okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. I'll
'cause
give you that.
Chris Evans was more like the funny. He was like a less funnier Ryan Reynolds, for a lack of a better term, of how like people saw him, but he was also like a bit more of an like
Yeah.
I'd say him and Ryan Reynolds were both on the same
Okay.
path, if anything.
And
What
he
about Renner?
Renner was saved. Renner's
Yes.
completely
I was gonna
owes
say.
everything for this. He got so many. He got
I think he did
He
other
got
stuff too,
Bourne
though.
stuff.
Well, he did the Bournes before, but
He did,
no,
and
did
Mission
Hawkeye
Impossible.
He did
Oh,
both
yeah.
of those after he got Hawkeye.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I guarantee you it.
okay.
Or very.
I'm trying
maybe
to double check.
it was
Yeah,
very, very
John,
close.
you double
It was
check.
very close to time, but I'm pretty sure he had Hawkeye. Not the TV show Hawkeye, but like Hawkeye.
No, I know
and
the character, him
Yeah.
in the
Mark
okay.
Ruffalo.
Man, Mark
Ruffalo-
Ruffalo.
He's normal.
Actor.
Born and Avengers came out at the same time,
Okay,
2012.
Didn't he do The Town?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
That was
That was
before.
before.
2010.
Yeah, man.
so
He
I
did
would
28 weeks later. That was
that
2000.
was-
Oh,
Yeah.
and
Like, I
Mission
mean, he was on-
Impossible was before too.
yeah.
Really?
See, that's the
That
thing.
was
before.
that was
He
his
was
big thing.
a-
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I knew Jeremy Renner from he had done what's the other movie
He
he
did a
did?
National Lampoons. That's how I know. About
Yes, he did the National Lampoon Senior Trip. That was his
Right.
first one. He plays the nerdy guy. He not the nerdy
No,
guy,
the cool guy.
yeah, the cool guy, surfer kind of dude.
Yeah.
I know him from the show The Unusuals, which was a one-season show with Adam Goldberg and what's his name, Harold from Mercutio from Romeo and Juliet.
Mm-hmm.
Harold, what's his last name? Starts with a P.
I
I was-
forgot.
Palmer.
No,
Most generic.
Perino. Harold Perino.
So the
Harold
way
Perino did The Unusuals.
Mhm.
And then the other thing he did was, didn't he do the movie, The Big Bomb, the one with Mackie? What's the one where they're in Afghanistan and they're
Black
um,
Hawk Down?
no
the Hurt Locker.
Hurt Locker.
that's-
The Hurt Locker is
Oh.
what he was like big known for
Yes.
because that got Oscar buzz and everything.
and what year was that?
2008.
Oh,
Okay,
I was
so
about to say
that's way
2007.
before Avengers. So yeah,
So,
yeah.
but then
Renner
but then
was-
there's the
Renner was
Town,
on
which
there.
was 2010. Then Thor, which is 2011, because remember he was uncredited
he's
in that
Thor,
one.
Yeah,
Then Mission
Oh.
Impossible: Ghost Protocol 2011 as well, and then the
Mhm.
Avengers 2012, and then Born Legacy 2012 that same year.
Yeah, and he's
So
back
I
for
would
I was
say-
thinking about the
Doomsday.
Bourne.
yeah. I would say he would have been okay. He didn't necessarily need the Marvel,
No, I don't
but it
think
raised
didn't
his
help.
stock.
I don't
Oh,
think
for
it
sure.
did not help.
Yeah.
Well, I do think I feel like I don't know. I feel like Avengers definitely. What do you call
It gave
it?
a shine. It put a spotlight
It
on
put-
it.
Yeah, like
yeah,
I feel like his career was not bumping before that. If that
I
makes
think
sense.
he was more like serious
was like
actor,
a-
and this kind of
Mhm.
pushed a
but
lot
like
of people
Hurt,
up.
because that we said Hurt Locker, The Town,
Yeah,
Yeah, but between Hurt Locker,
Born Identity, Mission Impossible, like those are all relatively big
but
IPs.
Mission Impossible was a relatively
That's
small
true.
role.
but
Hurt
they were
Locker
so,
was
but they were
big.
for Mission Impossible. They were
It
supposed
does.
to supposed to push him to be the new Ethan Hunt character. He's supposed to be the
Yeah.
main character, and then
No,
I think
because
after
Tom
that
Cruise
second
didn't
one,
want it. Yeah,
Tom Cruise like, nah, mine.
Yeah, So, but
that's not on
that's
him.
The point I'm but I'm not
That's-
saying it's not on him. We're talking.
Yeah.
We're talking about did it do what it was supposed to? It did not.
no,
How
but
did we get
hold on.
here?
I don't know.
No, but no, we're just talking about the Avengers movies being locked in for that long and coming back to the franchise years later, like RDJ is doing. Is that necessarily a good decision? RDJ, for him, I guess he thinks it's a good decision, mostly because of the money, which I feel is one of the reasons a lot of fans don't necessarily love this, because I'm hearing a lot of fans excited, but also being like, but you're coming back for the money.
But it has to be like a two-movie commitment. This cannot
For
be
sure it's two
something
movies.
that he. No, but I'm saying like this can't be something. He can't go. First of all, he's 59, and it's not to say, oh, you're older that you can't act or anything like that.
Hey,
But I'm
we've
just saying
said
that,
this.
but you need to.
We've got
said
Harrison Ford now.
Yeah, we've said this.
Patrick Stewart,
Oh,
bro.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name?
Yeah, but people are
In
terrified he's going to
Ant-Man.
die during Picard. Like, come on.
You guys know Renner's back too, though, right?
Well, he never died.
But he technically
right?
didn't leave. Because
he never
Hawkeye's
left.
True. Yeah, Hawkeye never left.
Hawkeye
True.
But
has
I'm
a
just saying
crossover-
I'm just saying he is casted in Doomsday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
all.
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
shocked. Wait, is this
I
an
don't know if you guys
IMDb
checked.
listing for cast though?
No.
Because
They
oh,
guesstimate sometimes.
yeah, because I was gonna say I've seen casting
Oh,
on
do
IMDb.
they?
Yeah, because one of the things with IMDb, so real quick for folks that might not know, if you have one of the specific accounts on IMDb, the one that you pay for, you can add information to listings. And sometimes people put a lot of the casting stuff based on rumors.
Okay.
Like
And
Common was Green Lantern for like the longest
yeah,
time.
yeah, stuff like that.
And that was supposed to happen. It just didn't happen. Even Common
Right.
was saying it in his shows.
Yeah,
it didn't
That's
happen.
a shame. That was a big shame.
but yeah, I mean, so how do you guys feel about RDJ? Because a lot of people have been saying they're excited, but they're concerned.
I'm torn
Okay,
because at the end of the day, yes, you know he knows the Marvel recipe. He knows how to make Marvel upped, but at the same time, I wanna Von Doom for the next 10 years, not for the next 2 movies.
agreed.
Facts.
Jaws?
I want to see how I'm hoping he's playing it differently and he's not being like, oh, I'm a snarky, funny, sarcastic
Oh god.
Doom.
Literally
Hey,
Iron Man
hoo, ha,
again.
ha. You
Tony
know,
Stark.
Oh
like,
no.
I'm assuming he's
Good point. Good point.
I'm assuming he's not going to do that. I mean, he just came off of an Oscar, well, a second
Yeah, he
Oscar
needs
win
to
or
be
a second
evil.
Oscar nod kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, he can play serious,
And he is good in Oppenheimer. I saw
you
him.
know,
He is very good
and
at it.
I would hope he pulls an Urban. Is it Carl Urban?
Yeah.
The-
What did Carl
the-
Urban do?
Like being menacing.
Like he
Judge
just
Dredd?
keeps the mask on the whole time and he doesn't take off the mask.
Agreed.
We don't see him
Well,
before the
agreed,
mask.
agreed,
Oh
agreed.
yeah.
He's gonna take off the. There's gonna be a Spider-Man Tom Holland moment with him taking off the mask. 100%.
I hope not. I
Sadly,
really hope not.
Calling it right. If it's
I
in
don't-
Dooms or
I
if
don't
it's
want
in
it.
Secret
Jaws?
War,
Jaws,
That's
I
happening.
am on the exact same page on the same fucking line as you. I do not want to see his face. If he's gonna be in the mask, be in the mask.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sadly, I know that Dave is right. I agree with you
100%.
100%.
Don't want
But
it.
I know Dave is right because if Tom Holland is in that movie, they are going to have a moment where the mask comes off and Holland reacts.
because I don't want. the one
Yeah.
thing that-
It's true.
I don't want him to be. Example. I don't want him to be in Fantastic Four. If you
Oh.
introduce a Doom in Fantastic Four, it should be your actual
Ooh.
Doom for the future.
He-
Whereas
oh.
the other one should be this variant because it's been confirmed that he's a variant.
Yes.
It's been
Oh.
confirmed that that is the. I had to catch up like mad. The one thing I did read that was the first thing I was happy about. He's supposed to be a variant. He's not supposed to be the Doom.
Skinny hit us.
God, I had to throw it.
I'm not worried about nothing. Everybody's just talking. No one's seen the movie yet. Like a lot of this, I'm just.
Yeah.
No,
I
All
think
we
when
got,
Marvel's just like 2008.
it's nerd culture. Nerd culture is all
I
reactions.
know, but like what the nerd
Where have you
culture
been?
we live in now is just so much like it's so much anger based and a lot less thinking
But that's what I'm
and
saying.
actually referring
People
to
aren't-
the comics that you actually read back in the day. So give me a
Right.
second. So like, I mean, okay, yeah, he's going to be a variant.
Yeah.
Perfect. He's not going to be in Fantastic Four. Guarantee he's not going to be in Fantastic
Thankfully,
Four.
agreed.
He's not going to be the Victor Von Doom. Like he's not the Victor Von Doom that we're going to have for the next 10 years
That we
because
deserve.
you have to understand that they put a lot of money behind our boy there, Kang. Like they put a lot of money.
Yes.
But they also had residual money to be like, in case this messes up,
Yeah.
hey, all them dumb rumors we were hearing about Tom Cruise and this guy, like they might just do Axis because Axis
sure
is
that-
an easy, adaptable comic where something happened with Red Skull, who hasn't been on screen for a minute, and then basically all the temperaments of the heroes and villains switched. You could do that for a movie same mask, different task, or same task, different mask, all that. You could do all that for 1 movie, 2 movies, go into Secret War, the world blips, Molecule Man refixes everything, and there you get your Victor Von Doom that way. But
Wow.
for the next 2 movies, it's a write-off. Just don't expect anything that you're going to want to love and see for the next 3 movies, 2-3 years, because they, even with Deadpool and Wolverine, service. Yeah, it's just fan service. You're going to see old actors coming back, finishing their story, Cody Rhodes, and that's it. And that's it. So 2030, we're going to get what we want.
Imagine they get Tom Cruise to go and play a variant of Iron Man.
No, don't even start that.
They will. They are money hungry goofs. And listen, what happened with Kang? Kang was a big plan that went to shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they're throwing everything at the wall now. All tomatoes, all noodles, everything.
That's what scares me.
They got all the toys now, right?
Throwing everything at the wall.
They got the whole Toy Biz like line.
Throwing everything at the wall to try and figure out what can work is what scares me. But anyways, Ness,
at least for Avengers.
Ness, your take on RDJ coming back.
I don't like it.
Longest pause ever.
I don't
hear
like
crickets
it
in the background.
I don't like it.
No, because I mean, I'm just listening to, because you guys have obviously more knowledge on the whole Marvel universe. But I know that it's just a money grab for the fans.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't like it. I feel like he's definitely not the forever Doom. So I'm kind of like,
would you also
argue
that's
my
it's
money save? It's a money save.
Is this not a safety net, guys?
You feel it?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like this feels more like a money grab. Like it feels, in my opinion, I'm like, let's just get this over with, so we can get on to the real stuff.
Because it's guaranteed booties in the seats. It's guaranteed. Guaranteed people are going to see this movie. Guaranteed. So it's like you can't fail. You cannot fail. You can't. There's going to be nobody clamoring and complaining about a black Captain America. There's going to be no one saying nothing about Captain Marvel being in this movie and even having a speaking role. There's going to be nothing about She-Hulk. There'll be nothing about that. All because RDJ's back. That's it. Everyone's going to just chuchote and go see this movie. Then they'll talk. But before that and after Endgame, when they weren't giving it up and keeping up the appearances, people were just running their mouths. La, 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 la. RDJ's back. They dropped the mic with that, and people are like, all right, I'm gonna shut up.
Russo brothers, RDJ.
Yeah. Let me just real quick. I don't understand why people are like, oh my god, the Russo brothers are back. Yo, they said in a Vanity Fair interview, we'll come back for Secret Wars, and then winked at the camera.
Yeah.
We've known about Secret Wars since 2019, my guys.
And didn't get in trouble.
Thank you, Wendell.
Didn't get in trouble.
We've been known about this movie, and that they were going to direct.
I don't think we knew for sure they were coming back. They said they wanted to.
That wink was a hardcore, like,
for sure. They didn't get in trouble because it wasn't like when Mark Ruffalo and Tom Holland were like, well, so the movie's out and blah.
Yeah,
no, my favorite is Mark Ruffalo. Like, all right, I'm gonna live stream the movie in the premiere. They didn't take my phone because I'm on screen.
That's fantastic.
Okay, no one thought I'd be this stupid.
This dude does not care.
That was them.
So essentially our overall take is wait and see the money grab, but don't worry, because ultimately this isn't our forever Doom anyways. This is just the money grab Doom,
with the asterisks of please don't abuse this.
I'm happy that people won't be complaining for 3 years. Like, I'm really happy. I'm happy to hear MCU back more than I'm happy to hear like Marvel's lost it. Like, I'm so happy. I'm good.
I don't know, man. I still want Feige gone. But
you're right. You need to chill. Just relax.
I know. I've wanted Feige gone for a minute. I want someone new. But guys, I said this for Lorne Michaels with SNL and all the late night shows. I said it for Greg Berlanti. You heard me say it before. I don't like when one person. Oh well, yeah, but I hate Dan Harmon. So fuck that dude. Fuck Dan Harmon. But you guys know how I feel when you have one person running one thing for an extended period of time. I like Kathleen Kennedy, and dictatorship. Even Kathleen Kennedy needs to go, and that's not because she did a bad job. It's because you've been in the chair for too long. Sometimes you need to change things up. There needs to be new vision. There's a whole new generation of fans that are going to be coming. Gen Alpha is turning 13 they're the ones that they're going to start thinking about. Michael Bay bought
brokers don't like it when we switch people out. They get scared and we lose money.
Yeah, don't do that.
You've been losing money, anyways. I know.
Find me a 40-year-old man or woman.
We brought back the old guy that retired for Disney because everyone was
exactly.
like, "Ah,
hilarious." Find me a mid-40s person that likes comic books and costumes, and I'm good with you, Brian. If they know the shit and they read comics and they like costumes and accuracy, we're cool. But until you find that man, sorry.
Look, man, funny thing, Vince McMahon this all the way home.
Funny thing I learned about Kevin Feige, he wasn't a day one fan, by the way, people. They pitched him as that, but in the book, the MCU, you find out Homeboy was just a movie fan and did his homework. He didn't know anything about X-Men or any of that stuff.
If and you don't find me comic book guy, just go find
at least he cared enough to look up stuff.
That's what I'm saying. We can find a 45-year-old. We can find a 40-year-old something who is in the industry, skinny.
He'll make everything Green Lantern.
Dave.
Just put us at the head of your table.
But not even jokes aside.
Everything's Aquaman.
How many people do we know who know this shit? Who could at least direct one of these things?
That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money just to one of us. You crazy, man.
You gave the money
to give it. Don't give me all that money.
You gave the money to Taika, who's a great director, but he'd never done anything on that scale, and he gave us Thor 3.
He got cocky.
He also gave us Thor 4.
Sure,
he got cocky.
He made a mistake on his second one, but
broke his ankles on the dismount, bro.
Sure,
did one of those and one moves and didn't finish it.
Thor 4 crossed over on him like Iverson, and he broke his ankles, and that's what it is. What it is.
Didn't he poo-poo on the people that made the special effects? Isn't he the main guy that's supposed to be looking at the special effects?
Take a shit on the special effects.
Yeah, his feet were in the movie.
That's sad. That I don't like.
It's all right. I think they were explaining stuff, and then he just poo-pooed on it. It's like, dude,
oh, that's unfortunate.
Man, his kids need to be in the movie. That's why he had to do it that way.
Guys, we got to go into it because we don't got a lot of time. Dave,
that's a bad.
Dave. Look at that shirt. Look at that shirt. Show it off, boy.
Dave,
find that. That's a hard shirt.
Dave, take a deep breath. Deep breath.
Let's fucking go!
You did that. Okay.
So
what did we like about it?
For anyone who's watching this, just a heads up: spoilers. We are going to be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, and we are going to spoil the film. We've all seen it. We all want to talk about it. So if you are watching this right now, if you are listening to this right now, understand that we are going to spoil the movie. I have 2 pages of notes right next to me because I rewatched the movie.
Ready.
I'm going to go first just to say quickly my quick thoughts, and then you guys can just run off there because I'm going to listen. Okay, initial impressions. Mm-hmm. You guys are going to
reactions.
You're going to feel about this how you will. It was all right.
Okay, I feel the same way.
Okay,
I feel the same way.
It wasn't MCU back. It wasn't the best thing ever. It wasn't the best thing since Endgame. I've seen better since Endgame.
Agreed.
It was all right.
I
might actually like Deadpool 2 more.
Oh, Skinny, do you want Dave?
All right, okay.
Dave, the heat I'm feeling from you, the rage already. Calm down, sir.
Can I go next?
Wait, let Skinny finish because Skinny has to.
Okay, go. Sorry.
Like the movie, certain things, the cameos are great. I liked how certain people got their stories finished. Cody Rhodes, shouts to Channing.
By the way, again, spoilers. You can say whoever you want to say. Say the name.
Gambu is cool. Things were cool. The fight scene's a little too stabby. We're talking about 2 ninjas, and all they did was stab people. I don't understand that. Weird. The car fight scene.
Okay.
I don't understand what that was referenced to, but to me, it felt like a sex scene. Don't know if I needed it. Don't know if it felt
probably on purpose.
It felt weird, and it was on purpose, but it just felt.
And then also the song they're playing is
man. Yeah,
Grease.
Yes.
The music
probably on purpose.
You're the one that I love. Do-wop.
Yeah,
I was singing along. I was jamming, man.
I understand you got your budget for music, but the music was a little too much. Sometimes you need to shut the fuck up. That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay. Skinny's in my head. Skinny, did you write these notes?
I love the mask. The mask was hard, but you can't have it come off so much like a helmet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the way you pulled it out, dope. But for it to be the only thing that stayed on him during the scene, little weird. I get the chiseled body. That's what I'm gonna say. I like the movie. Will I see it again? Here's what I'll say about this movie that's gonna make Dave really mad. I'll watch it again if it's on cable.
That's rude.
No,
that's
it's not rude. It's how I feel.
That's an insult.
That's rude.
I didn't watch Logan again.
Marvel sucked. Black Widow sucked. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, saying I would watch this if it was on cable.
I actually liked Black Widow.
I said I would watch it. So if it's on cable, I'll be like, it's like Goodfellas. Yeah, I'll watch it if it's on cable and I catch it.
That's
okay. I'm not going out of my way to be like,
that's what you're saying, and everyone knows the stock in that because like you're suggesting that.
Skinny's like, if I catch it, but I won't waste my time.
I kind of agree with Dave's reaction because if you watch it on cable, it's gonna be edited to shit.
Oh yeah, that's you.
HBO, Cinemax.
I hate these mother-loving.
So you're saying if it's available to stream, so like tomorrow, or now.
Yeah.
You watched it.
Yeah,
I streamed a bit on my phone. It's okay.
I just rewatched it via sources.
Via sources.
So, shout out to Sources West Island.
Yeah. Great road, great boulevard. Yeah, man, it was an all right movie. Like I don't know. I feel like maybe I was wondering. Like I wanted much more. I was expecting like multi. But I smoke weed, and this movie was super mid.
Well, I think
mine at the end.
I feel like even the movie kind of felt it a little bit because the fact that in the third act or towards the end of the third act, Deadpool turns like, "Hold on, we're wrapping it up. Don't worry.
Yes,
we're almost done. We're almost done."
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, he turns to us and literally says, "Don't worry, guys. We're near the end," which was very telling.
I guess.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I'll just try to make it quick.
Those are all your points.
I just wanna. You're gonna tell me that the worst Logan went and got drunk, and the humans came, and the rest of the X-Men just got killed. It's like Storm just got deaded by a human. Cyclops, Optic Blast just got killed. Jean Grey too. Beast. What are you talking about?
Anyway, they could be in a universe where they're all their worst selves.
Hold on.
Stop.
Okay,
maybe.
Okay, no, Dave, that's fair. Dave,
that was good. That was good.
Dave is finding all the threads to pull on our
Matrix dodging. He's like, what?
No, he's the piece of shit. If they're all pieces of shit, for all you know, they're all having a fucking party and they got capped in the back of the head. You don't know. You weren't there. They didn't show it for a reason.
I will give you that. I will, however, say though, we have to take into consideration the worst Wolverine is a guy who was just down the street at the bar when the humans came, and I don't understand how that's not worse than Old Man Logan, who killed his own team because he was tricked into it.
Who's prime variant or whatever?
Yeah, like Old Man Logan in the comic books is angry because he got I don't remember who did it to him, Mysterio or whoever did it. Yeah, Mysterio messed it up so that he didn't know who he was killing, and he ended up killing the entire X-Men team,
which is an actual thing though.
But I'm just saying
that happens in comics.
Yeah, Old Man Logan.
No, but I think Brian's saying, how is that not the worst one?
Because we see Old Man Logan in the movie, the guy that shoots him when he's on the porch. That's Old Man Logan. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I don't understand how he's the worst one when Old Man Logan is out there sitting on a porch with a shotgun.
Talking about you went to go get drunk, and you
maybe because he didn't know, so thus he's not the worst. This guy,
I think,
Oh, well, I'm talking about Paradox calls him the worst. Paradox knows who's the worst.
That Logan is one who openly doesn't do anything when he's supposed to.
Yeah, like he makes a conscious decision to let them.
He thinks that everyone's killing is like one's perceiving that, all you people are coming to kill my friends, so I'm going to kill you.
I 100% understand what you're saying.
One has a conscious, one does not.
But okay, whether or not it's a conscious decision, the worst Wolverine in the multiverse is the guy who didn't know, because it's not conscious for him when people kill all of his friends when he's not there. That's not his intention. But he didn't actively seek to murder these people. He didn't actively seek to stop them. He was down the street and all of his friends died. He comes home and he ends up killing a bunch of people out of anger, and he's called the worst Wolverine. Meanwhile, the guy who got tricked into it, to me, whether or not he's aware, they're both equally unaware of what they're doing. One of them murders his team while he's unaware. The other one just didn't do anything.
But one is unaware.
Maybe we're reading way too much into this because Old Man Logan was just supposed to be there for fan service and then moving on. And I understand, but I feel like
talking about a multiverse. They all exist. Paradox has access to all of them. So whether or not,
I think the fact that they show him
supposed to say like Age of Apocalypse Wolverine is the worst because he becomes Apocalypse.
Yeah, that's also very bad. So like that's why it doesn't make sense to call him the worst.
Well, because he allowed people. I think it's a timing thing. I'd say that.
All right.
One allowed good things to happen for a long period of time, then fucked up.
Okay.
And one person said, I'm going to stop now. And a lot of bad repercussions happened because of your fuck up.
I remember all the other Wolverines kill Deadpool. This is the only one he can actually bring back.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering how many excuses we're going to make for how bad the plot is and writing of this movie. Just wondering. Just let me know in advance. How many excuses are we going to make for bad writing?
I need to make a point.
Just tell me.
So we're going to just do another episode?
I need to make a point because now it's getting annoying. So,
I mean, of course it's annoying.
No. As someone who's read,
no. It isn't.
Are we doing the review still, or are we just getting you two arguing?
Go last, and we didn't. And I didn't finish.
I hope I don't only get 5 minutes.
No, but I'm just saying. You say you're going to go last. That was your decision. Jaws wasn't even finished, so let Jaws finish.
I didn't even start.
Exactly.
Finish.
I'm the one that said I'm waiting. He said he wanted to jump in. Jaws, hit us.
I thought the movie was good. I do have to say, I think this was a lot better than I thought it would be because, this was affected by the writer's strike. Let's put that in perspective.
Right.
Other movies that were affected.
I have background on that from Comic-Con. I can tell you guys.
Okay. So I thought it was actually pretty good comparatively. Like it could have been way worse because, writer strike stuff.
Yeah.
And also actor strike, as I guess this was pushed back. I love the fan service. I feel the fan service will hit harder if you're an older millennial and early Gen Xer because you're part of that demographic that saw Fox come in, do all the stuff, and just all the warm and fuzzy memories at the end, all the promises, all the stuff that didn't come that could have been, and seeing Channing Tatum as Gambit was really cool in the old costume. That was really fun. Yeah. I really liked how they played up his accent because. Oh, God. And some people are like, oh, I don't like it. And it's like, well, have you been to that area? Have you heard how they talk? Like, would you be able to understand him if he's being more authentic, or wouldn't you be able to understand him if he's being authentic or not authentic? Like,
they also make fun of the fact that he was doing it. Like, they acknowledge that he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah,
in the film.
I felt it was a little thick for comedy value, which is fine, but it was thick to the point where like it was like, we're going to make it this thick specifically so Deadpool can make jokes about it.
Yeah.
Which I was just like, all right.
And then I also liked how, I also like their little meta jokes and stuff like that, where, Elektra comes up and it's Jennifer Garner. It's like, oh, I'm sorry that my condolences about
Daredevil.
And she's like, nah, don't worry about it, man. And then there was another joke about Wolverine being divorced or something like that. And Hugh Jackman and his wife have been divorced. So there's a lot of those jokes kind of thing.
Low point of the multiverse part and things like that.
Yeah. And then seeing Blade, seeing Blade was awesome.
Old man Blade.
That
was fantastic.
Please. And then the fact that they shit on the
Mahershala movie,
the Blade movie that should have been out, that keeps getting pushed back, and that just hurts extra. Because of that, just like there's only one, and then also crap it on what's his name, Sticky Fingers. It's just layer and layer on top of that, just one line.
True, I didn't realize they were shitting on Sticky Fingers.
I mean, if people even remember the Sticky Fingers,
true. Because that was a Spike TV original.
Yeah. So I think like. It's a good movie. Like if I had to be like, critic, like it's good. Go see it. It's fun. R-rated movie. You're not gonna get those often at all anymore, if at all. But for like, nostalgic, fan service. I thought it was really great, and I thought, the Welsh Wexham, Deadpool was was like, what Welsh?
Yeah,
what?
That was hilarious.
So that was cool.
Funny. Ness?
It's fine. It's a safe space. It's okay.
Be honest. I never, to be honest, when I first watched the first Deadpool, I didn't really like it. Not because it was a bad movie, but because I just didn't like his character.
That's fair.
But I also didn't know enough about him. Okay. Then when I educated myself a bit more on his character, I kind of understood the whole
like why he was the way he was in the movie.
Yeah. exactly. And so the second one, I liked it more. This one felt like a money grab in a way.
I heard a lot today.
We are.
No. Hold on. Wait, because I really enjoyed the movie more than I thought I was going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But there was a bit too much like celebrity cameos for me.
Yeah.
In the sense, like it felt a bit like they tried to make the movie accessible for the average person and not necessarily the fan. Am I making sense?
By like overdoing,
like it just felt a bit too blockbuster-y. Like let me make this accessible to every single age group type of person. Like you could go into this movie. Like no, like my point is you can go into this movie without even seeing anything from Marvel and you would enjoy it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I think that's where there definitely was a lack of like storyline. I wasn't expecting it just to be action.
Yeah.
Like between them, I thought there was going to be a bit more substance, but I felt like I feel like their reasoning behind the movie was not behind the movie, but their motives, I should say, was a bit weak.
Thin.
In my opinion.
Yeah, because you and I did talk about this aside. Like when it came to the motivations for Paradox and the motivations for Cassandra, when I was watching that, I was just like, okay, so Paradox just doesn't like his job. He's old school TVA and doesn't like that the TVA isn't doing this anti-pruning.
Right.
So he's
being played by Tom from Succession.
Yes. McFadden, and that was one of my notes. I'll say super quick. The fact that that actor played a doofus on Succession, but ends up with ultimate power at the end, to then come in and play a doofus with ultimate power, I was just like, okay, but then to be weakened so much by the end,
lose the power.
I was just like, oh no, dude, you ended Succession on top so well and had that huge advantage where you could play a character like Paradox.
I wonder if that's more meta.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it's not good for McFadden.
It was for sure a paycheck for him though. Like it wasn't
like I mean it's like, oh, this was the big dude, the big top dog that won out in Succession. Let's put him in our movie, but like flip it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know, that's what I mean.
He's a guy who has ambition.
Yeah. I wonder if that's more meta, or maybe yes, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's two different characters. So I don't think they connect, but it's just clearly he took it for a paycheck and he probably got this role because of Succession. So
I would say.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. But it felt a bit I don't know, the story was like something I've heard before a million times.
Yeah, you know? It's a little bit tricky to like where else do you go with Deadpool? Like
the underdog who feels like he's worthless and blah blah blah. Like I understood what they were doing with Wolverine and him feeling the same way and them feeling like they lost their loved ones and blah blah blah. But it was just a bit like, is there gonna be more? Is there gonna be like I kept waiting for like something bigger to happen. Even the villain to me was like,
I truly didn't understand Cassandra Nova.
Cassandra.
Yeah.
Even her, like I mean, I get where they were going. And and I was telling Brian actually when we spoke at work, I really, really loved when they introduced the Void. I thought that whole sequence was really, really cool how they introduced it and showing all the different the alternate
different areas too.
Different areas, the alternate characters, like from different universes, like all of that was super cool, and I would have liked a movie just in the Void. Like I thought that was a really cool sequence how they did it and everything.
Yeah,
but like I understood her motive, but again, it was like she didn't feel strong enough, and I didn't care enough towards the end when she was trying to like.
It didn't seem like it was actually dire and that they could lose.
Yeah, like it wasn't.
And then the ending is kind of similar to what was it called? Guardians of the Galaxy, where they all hold hands, kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even pick that up. That's a good point. That is a throwback.
We're weak alone, but we're together. We're strong, and we live. You know.
So my take. Like Skinny said, most of what I felt. It was a mid film. I've said this on the pod multiple times before. We are at a point where we deserve better as geek fans, meaning just because you can make the thing doesn't mean you should just make it. And I think that, and I'll add, like, yes, to what Jaws said, the fact that there was a writer's strike and an actor strike did bite into the production and the writing, Jaws.
And I was gonna say also, because Fox got bought, we didn't know if this was even going to be made at all. So there was a big fight to get it made. So that's that, and
which is usual for the Deadpool series, but
yeah. I mean, it faced so many issues to get made in the first place,
and to be an R-rated movie as well. On top of that, and
too.
have the jokes they would want to have, but you know it.
Right. So to continue that franchise is difficult. Mm-hmm. So even just getting the movie made, I give them points. Getting the movie made, facing all the issues that it faced, I give them points. But when I talked to one of the writers recently at Comic-Con and I hear that there was a different version of the story before Hugh joined, and he said, and I got to be honest, it's a pretty good script. In my head, I'm almost like, what is that script? What is the version with that?
That's in a vault.
There's 25
I know,
different pitches,
probably burnt.
There's 25 different versions that Ryan Reynolds presented.
Right.
Like they kept on asking him. Well, sorry. He went up to them and he's like, I have these main ideas and then I have all these because I know you guys are going to be picky.
Yeah.
Because like we have the issue of like the R-rated and all these other stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But like, so am I allowed to go now?
I didn't even. I just wanted to say, Cassandra's motivations, didn't understand it. You know what? I'll pick one specific thing that drove me nuts about the movie that I feel isn't nitpicky, but is just factually illogical. Cassandra Nova at the end finds out that Paradox is the reason that she was shot in the first place, and decides to come after him, and then decides to destroy all universes so that everything can be in the void. That as character motivation made absolutely no sense to me, because
she loves the void.
She loves the void, but she's an all-powerful being in the void, and gets shot twice, and now decides, because you shot me in my void, I should destroy all universes. That's a huge overcorrection. But
doesn't she say that her and Paradox had an agreement?
A deal.
Her and the TVA had an agreement. Paradox broke the agreement.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, because I thought it was an agreement. Okay.
It's not an agreement with Paradox specifically. It's an agreement with the TVA.
And then also,
well, I mean, maybe she made it with Paradox. Who knows? But
sure. I mean, they don't say that.
And she didn't know that machine was even being built. So like, she was like, okay, you leave me alone here. I leave you alone. I don't mess up your stuff. You leave me alone.
It did feel like she kind of jumped from like 1 to 10 in like a span of 10 minutes.
But yes,
she's a psycho in the comic books, and that's what a psycho would react, right? You screw me over.
Exactly. This was the setup. This is why I wanted someone to say it. She's a psycho in the void. Comes out of the void angry. Comes out, sees Wolverine and Deadpool, and decides that once she puts her hands in Paradox's head and find out what's going on, that she wants to progress with it, but doesn't kill the two people that could stop her. She just pushes them away and drags him and goes downstairs and leaves them alone to fight an entire army of Deadpools, as opposed to what would have most logically been just killing them and going to do what she wanted to do.
Psycho's not logical.
But then we have no movie.
She's a psycho.
But we have no movie then.
But she's
but if she's
you're describing a psychopath. A psychopath has things in its way and doesn't just destroy them. She's a psychopath. Why does she just leave them?
They're playthings to her. To her, they're playthings. They're beneath her.
But that doesn't make to destroy them. She destroyed Johnny like that. She destroyed other people like that. Why didn't she destroy them?
She wants to keep a Wolverine. She says that.
She wants to keep a Wolverine in the void. She's not going to have him in the void. She can get.
Her plan was to take him out.
Whoa! Stop. We're not doing maybes.
Wait! Hold on a second. I want to say something.
Because then you have no more movie after that.
But that's it, and that's my problem. I don't like things.
Sorry, Ness. Sorry. I jumped.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I understand what Dave is saying. I also understand what Brian's saying. The only issue I have with the writing is with her character specifically. They made her for a slight second seem like she was good when she saved their lives and told Wolverine, "My brother loved you." So there was like this slight like, oh,
There's like
I
a
guess
switch.
she's good and she just has a lot of trauma and like she's sad because of. And I understand if she's psycho and you want to just make her psycho, then she should just be killing and going crazy from the get-go. But like to have her be kind to them and save their lives, and then she's like, "Oh, I owe you a favor because you saved my life, so I'm gonna save yours and let you go back." Like it was a bit for someone who's like a psycho villain. It was a bit, I thought, odd for her to do that.
Yeah, if
and
you
then
want
when
to
she got into the real world, she did like she has the Deadpool army like
yeah
assigned to kill them. So I was kind of like,
see something in the comments by Kaiser Sose. Cassandra did herself to Logan, and with him being close to Professor X, it touched a nerve.
Yeah,
so
I think
that's why she was like, "Oh, my brother didn't hate me that much," you know?
Yeah, I mean, your brother didn't even know you were in the void.
Sure,
you would have
but
came.
then 10 minutes later, it's like, let me destroy the whole world. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
And that's the thing. That's and if you're saying that she's psychotic, then it's just like, okay.
Well, for me,
I think the big. I was gonna say real quick.
They don't plan.
I was gonna say real quick. You know, we have to remember that the Professor Xavier line of genes are terrible. Anybody that's not Professor X is either Legion or Cassandra. That's not a good mix of genes right there. There's some gene that leads to mental health problem.
Well, yeah, because his son Legion has severe mental health issues,
schizophrenia or something. I forgot what it was specifically, but
read everyone's mind. I think that's
yeah, that's fair. Dave,
but I wish there was more like development on her character, just so you can like. For me, I felt like there wasn't enough for me to actually care about her motives, because I was like, what is her motives? Just the fact that at birth they sent her to the void automatically. Like, how did she even know that if she was sent to the void when she was a little baby? Like,
I think there's something weird with her character. Actually, like she's like their fetuses and they're conscious. Like her and Professor X are conscious in
that does happen in the comic book. Yeah.
Okay, so she's aware that she was, I guess, sent somewhere, but.
Well, she tried to kill him in the womb. She was
not this one though, because she says she's born.
They didn't say that in this one.
She says she tries to kill him.
She didn't say she tried to kill him.
No, she didn't.
I think so.
I just rewatched the movie. She didn't say she tried to kill him.
No, she said at birth they sent her. They said they sent her to the void like right away because they didn't want, I guess, a girl, or I don't know. They chose the male over her or something like that. That was the story of the movie. So she didn't try to kill him from the movie. But I know in the comics, that's what it is. She tries to kill him.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Dave, it's all yours.
All I'm going to say,
rant,
I'm just joking.
Rant and rave, my friend.
No, all I'm saying is this. There were certain points that you guys made that actually make me happy. Because first of all, I'm happy that this movie didn't have something that you have to watch all the other movies. It's smart that now, this far, you shouldn't have that. 1. 2, I like smart that it was not a thick movie like plot, because first of all, Deadpool for this like franchise, even in Fox, and as it should be in the Marvel universe, he's like the Expendables movies. He is the 80s 90s action movie. So the concept that there is no major plot is great. Also, as someone who's read a lot of Wolverine, a lot of Deadpool, a lot of their mashups as like actual comic books for them, and them co-starring in each other's comic books, more specifically Wolverine visiting Deadpool's universe. This is reading a Deadpool comic. They do not have thick storylines. They bicker and argue a lot. They try and kill each other. They realize they have to kill everyone else because killing each other is not the answer. And it's a usually very basic premise. Someone's being a douchebag. We got to stop the douchebag.
Yeah.
And usually when Wolverine visits Deadpool's comic books, there's always a lot of cameos, in which case that's all this was riddled with.
Yeah.
Deadpool comic books, a lot of them have a tendency to be fan service. So as someone who loves Deadpool comic books specifically, this movie was great. For that. Am I saying it's the best Marvel or comic book movie? Not saying that.
Right.
I think it's on par with all the other Deadpool movies, because all of the Deadpool movies have this, what I just described, all the Deadpool movies had.
Yeah.
You had a bunch of fan service in the second one because of Cable, X-Force, fixing Juggernaut.
Yeah.
You finally had a good Colossus in the first one.
Yep.
You grab that random characters that no one knew about in the first one, and you made a very simple, this is what it's like. And the first movie, which has the least amount of like fan service of cameos, is because the fan service was Deadpool finally getting his own movie after waiting like 10 years.
Yeah.
To get it, right?
Yeah.
And then for this movie, again, being a big Deadpool comic fan, the fact that it's like fight, joke. Oh wait, we gotta like re-steer the ship to what we're supposed to do. Now let's get back to fighting and joking. That's what Deadpool comic books are about. I like the fact that it wasn't serious for once. We don't need to have thing.
I don't need it to be serious. I just want
I didn't want it to be serious.
Yeah.
But here's the thing though. And just like in Deadpool fashion, just like in Deadpool comic book fashions, they'll always leave one thing that people will maybe catch on, but a lot of people will be like, oh, this movie was whatever, so it's a throwaway, but it's not. This movie taught a very important thing. There's a variant prime in each universe, and I
will give them points for that.
You this.
The anchor?
Yeah, the anchor
that
is either Iron Man or that's Captain America, which is directly setting up Doom and Secret Wars.
Yes.
Yeah,
so like
for sure.
this, in that sense, this movie was great.
That was great.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
for me,
I wouldn't say it's Captain America just because he got old.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
but I know what you mean.
Important concept.
Yeah, I will give you that. The movie gets a huge boost for making such an important statement about the MCU. Because anchor beings, the fact that like someone interviewed Kevin Feige recently and asked him, it was Iron Man the anchor being for the MCU prime, like a sacred timeline, and Feige said, "I'm happy that you're asking that question."
That interview.
Yeah. So that in of itself gives us a huge nod to the fact that anchor beings or prime beings, prime variants is an important element that we will hopefully see move forward. I mean, it's, if anything, RDJ coming back is going to be super interesting because, we were calling it our forever Doom, but essentially we're looking for our prime Doom.
Yeah.
And maybe like who's going to be our prime Doom? Maybe RDJ is the prime Doom in his universe. We don't know. But these are all things that I find super interesting, and I do love that was given to us in this movie. I just, like I said, and the funny thing is I do like the movie, but again, people get mad at me when I give movies I like lower scores because they're just like, well, it's 10 on 10. I gave Spider-Man No Way Home 6 on 10. And I like that movie. And this movie, no offense, it's a 5.5. But
you're crazy.
But I like the movie.
You sound like was it Fantan? What's the name of the YouTube movie video? Music reviewer? I
don't remember.
Anthony Fantano. So there was an interview he was doing with a rapper, and the rapper called him out. He said, "You gave my album a 7 point something," and he was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "But didn't you say my album made you cry? How is that a 7?"
But that's the thing, like, for me,
but everyone rates things differently. There's
but it depends on the scale you're rating it on, right? Like if you're comparing it to all other comic book movies, whatever. But like example, I'm saying it's good because of the Deadpool premise, not because
for sure
of comparison premises.
I'm not comparing it to anything.
I completely, the only comment that any of you guys said that I completely disagree with, I completely disagree with the Skinny's comment that like it's not one of the better movies that has come out because frankly Eternals sucked. Black Widow wasn't good.
In your opinion?
I liked Black Widow.
Yeah, I hated Black Widow. I thought it was horrendous. And I don't think Shang-Chi was good. I think there are
Shang-Chi was okay to me. I didn't love it.
It wasn't like the best Marvel movie, but it was definitely like a fun. Anyways,
that's exactly my opinion about your reaction. Is exactly
wait. But I just want to clarify because I don't dislike this movie. There was a lot of things. There was a lot of things about it that I loved, like the comedy, the way that they introduced the Void, the way they introduced the whole anchor being. There was so many things that were strong, and I loved that in the movie. There's just a few things in it that docked points, like the story and also I understand that cameos is a thing, but I thought there was a little too many with like the celebrities. But again, like that to me felt a little gimmicky with all the celebrities that they added in the.
I already have the answer to what you're about to say. Go ahead.
I feel it's just like
sorry.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry. I just want to also add, besides the cameo, also the whole Fox thing. Like, I get it, but even that was a little too much. To me, that was a little. It was a little too much with the jabbing at Fox. Like, I understand, but at some point, it was like, okay, we get it. Like
breaking the camera when you're just like, "Fuck you, I'm going to Disneyland." It was like, okay,
like, it was a little too much sometimes. But again, these are like little things. It's just it docked off a little bit of points for me.
But one thing I loved, and this is so I'm gonna say a personal story about watching Wolverine Origins. So many years ago, when Wolverine Origins came out, I went into the theater. One of my best friends was sitting behind me. He knows I love Wolverine, Gambit, and Deadpool.
Oh no!
He sees Deadpool come up on the screen. I hear him laughing, and like he's like pretending to like nudge my chair because he knows how bad it is. And when Gambit gets on screen, he legit leans his head forward between the two seats because I'm with another friend. He's like, "So you waited 10 years for this?" And I was so angry because I almost threw my drink at him because I'm like, "You're right about how angry I am. You don't need to do that." So this movie compared, like, this was
so true.
Like, fuck that movie, and it almost felt like for anybody like me, in regards to feeling that, it's like, fuck that movie. This movie is a
redemption,
like a redemption for you.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Wolverine finally got to really, like, don't get me wrong, he did it. They did a lot better job in Logan and stuff, but like Wolverine got to kill like how Wolverine does. Deadpool got to kill how Wolverine. How Deadpool kills. Gambit, although the voice was horrible or whatever, the thing that was great, you finally had the right suit on.
Yes.
Finally had an accent, and the fighting with Gambit was the best fighting with Gambit I have seen. Comic book, video game, it was perfect. Finally,
that was really good. Yeah,
someone understood what kinetic energy is, and what someone can do if he has cards and a pole that he could throw through people because he can control kinetic energy.
Yeah.
So that made me, woohoo. Fuck all, let's fucking go.
I
was all up in this movie after that.
Bringing back Blade 2 was really fun.
Yeah, I do like Gambit's line where he's like, sometimes it feels like I was born in the void. Another meta joke on top of that. This movie just never happened.
The meta joking, I'll give you this. The writing for the self-referential meta jokes throughout the whole film is
like fantastic. The self-awareness.
The dialogue was great.
The dialogue is great. Right? Like, having to think on the multiple levels of interacting within yourselves and interacting
and the audience
to the audience and interacting to people in the audience who know the joke. Like, I know, like I was telling you, Ness, I don't think you knew about the Gambit movie, right? That they were supposed to make with Channing Tatum.
No, I didn't. No.
So you didn't get that joke the way it was, but you still got a good joke about him being in the void. Because we knew about that, we got that joke on another level. Other people got the joke in a different way. I think that type of writing where you have 3 degrees of what the joke can mean to different people is fucking fantastic. That is, I put a lot of respect on the people who wrote the movie. I put a lot of respect on the people who acted in the movie. All those people coming back, doing those cameos, feeling like they finally got to close out their stories. Jennifer Garner didn't owe anybody coming back. She did that shit so long ago. It's just like, I don't owe y'all nothing. But you know what? Why not? Blade, why not? The nod to with Thomas Jane's Punisher dying off, like, you don't see it, but them saying like, this is Punisher's 18 something rocket
bazooka
launcher. Right.
Yeah.
The even the Daredevil line. The fact that you gave us all those, even if with the cameos, it felt like a lot. It did.
Yeah.
But I still liked the nods to them.
It's just as those people came. I mean, like, I'm sure they had a big budget and everything, and they always.
I was gonna say all the money went to that.
But they always joke like, "Hey, we can't have the X-Men. The X-Men can't be here. We're not gonna do the X-Men. Leave us alone about the X-Men." And then you just bring in all these other people too.
Just like when they had,
but like how they.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, sorry. I was gonna say, like, they brought Blake Lively to be Lady Deadpool, and it's like, was that necessary?
Like, apparently, there's like a lot of other people.
You hear her voice though.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And she's credited. And she's credited in it.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey and
Tom Holland's brother was one of the Deadpool variants.
McConaughey was one of them.
McConaughey is the cowboy one.
Oh, I didn't know.
And
that makes sense.
Nathan Fillion is the I think it's Fillion who's the headless one.
Oh,
and maybe Blake Lively wasn't even actually in the body.
I don't think she's in the suit.
No, I think she's
yeah,
the
maybe she wasn't in the
suit.
suit.
Monies.
Yeah.
But two things about the cameo
recorded
stuff.
on a phone. Just say this line, honey.
100%. They were in bed and they're like,
yeah, seriously.
I'm going to work tomorrow. Oh yeah.
I forgot to record the line. Yeah, that's true.
But two things I want to just specify because I know we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Best cameo for sure had to be Johnny Storm. Though.
Yes, perfect.
Only because it's like you
that was
genuinely thought like I was there. I'm like
out.
Cap.
Great
and then when
out.
that happens, and then the end scene, like the after.
I
hope yes. Like when he's like. And you could quote me. I'm like, that is amazing.
that was hilarious.
That's also an ode to like old Chris Evans type comedies. That
actually,
he was also in The Losers too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah,
that's how his character was in Losers.
So like,
I enjoyed seeing him in that light.
Like that was great. And one thing I really liked, I really did like that they went through all the iterations of Wolverine. The only disappointment about that is that we thought there was going to be multiple people playing Wolverine in these.
We got one different person.
We got Cavalrine,
but they implied in one interview they implied that everyone was going to be a different one, which made you think like, oh, maybe that's how they're testing which one they're going to choose.
Okay.
Right.
So I will give the rundown of the ones that we saw. Comic accurate Wolverine, who's the first
height.
Age of Apocalypse Wolverine,
which was amazing.
Patch Wolverine. Calverine, Old Man Logan, Uncanny X-Men 251, aka Crucified Wolverine, which was a cover, and then we got the John Byrne suit, which is Incredible Hulk 340 reference for all the nerds out there who want
because I think the Wolverine had the suit, but he didn't wear it. He just gets it in the movie.
You saw it in like a briefcase or something.
Yeah,
right.
He gets the suit, but he doesn't wear it at all.
Yeah. But I said mine 5.5, and again. Not because it's bad. 5.5 is what it gets for everything I said and being good. I just think you need more plot. Like I've always said, we have all these movies. We have all this fandom. They're making these movies for us finally. If we want everyone else to watch these and understand them, you got to give it a little bit more. I get that you knew all that stuff in the back end, and I think it's wonderful that you felt this happy watching that film. But for a bunch of people who don't know all that stuff, you still need to add a little bit more story so that it makes sense. Because the people I know who don't know the lore behind Deadpool were just like, okay, this was a cool action movie, but I didn't really like this. Yeah. Like when you said, oh, it's a great 80s, 90s action movie, our generation loves those, but I don't know if you notice, there's a reason they don't make movies like that anymore. And there's a reason that the Expendables, like you referenced, is a joke. Like,
no, I agree. I'm not just denying that.
Like, I don't want the stuff to be a joke. That's why.
But here's the thing. Like,
it could be funny, but I don't want it to be laughed at.
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying, right? Like, for me, like example, why was I disappointed with some of them? This is a perfect comparison actually, because you guys like the movie and I don't. Why did I not like Black Widow? I didn't like Black Widow because Black Widow should have been the Jason Bourne of the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
that's how that movie should have been, and it wasn't to me.
Oh, so you mean like it should have played out more like a spy thing, like more modern Cap movies?
100%.
Yes,
100%. It should have gone
the best
further
version
than
the best version of that is a deep espionage.
Exactly.
Yes, agreed.
So
I agree.
One thing, example, if you go to the first original 6 films, right? Iron Man was tech. Thor was mystical. Captain America was the spy.
Yeah.
Then there was the team up, right? You have purposes for all your films.
Yeah.
So and it's just like example. One of the some people liked Sin City, some people don't like Sin City. But if you ever read a Sin City comic book, why is Sin City like a 10 on 10 for me? If you read that comic book and then you watch that movie, it's fucking spot on. It's exactly why Watchmen is like a 9.5, because the only thing that they changed was the end, because they wouldn't be able to really sell it. So for me, the reason why this is like essentially a 9.5 movie for me is because as a Deadpool fan and someone who reads who I still have Deadpool as my pull list today.
Yeah.
It is dead center for a Deadpool movie. Not dead center for the best comic book movie.
Right.
Not dead center for the best storytelling of the best tale of time or whatever.
Right.
But as a Deadpool movie and its purpose as a Deadpool movie, 9.5.
Okay.
Wow. I'll give it to you. 9.5. Beautiful. Jaws. Yes.
I would say I'm giving it a 7.5. Like,
all right.
I think it's really good, above average.
That's fair.
Some stuff is a little bit light. I still liked it as like if I had to be like, oh, I'm gonna vote with my heart, I give it an 8. But like if I had to like calm down, bring it back,
right.
Yeah.
That's
Ness?
I would give it, I think, a 7.
I
think a 7 on 10.
I would have
no, she likes it more than me.
No. I liked it. I liked it more than I thought I would, but maybe that's why my score is higher because I had low expectations.
But if I had to base it off of a movie, not my complete bias before, I would probably get it. I wouldn't be too far from probably Jaws. I'd probably do a 7.5.
Okay, if I take away all the baggage and I watch this purely as an action movie where I just had fun, it's definitely 7-8. It's if you watch this movie with no expectation and let's say I don't have the baggage of wanting better for us as fans, like where I want this to be accessible to everyone and I want the stories to flesh out more. I always use this example, but from the day we saw Titans not burn paper in a room where a character lights everything on fire, I've always said we deserve better when it comes to these things. These writers need to write things more logically in the worlds they build. So when you have something like this, and I'm watching this movie and I'm like, super funny, great acting, get all this stuff. I love the action, but then it's just like, but the plot is so thin. I'm just like, But if I take that out and I'm just like, let me just sit down and watch an action, like a movie, it's solid. It's a solid watch.
Yeah.
I would rewatch. I rewatched it.
It got the crowds to cheer.
It got the crowds to cheer. There was applauses, and it was crowd.
Like, wow, that's cool.
I'm shocked. Well, but you said, oh no, it's not you. That's true. My colleague Kelsey at work, she said that like I asked
clapping,
her, they were clapping because I asked her, okay, they cheered the loudest probably for the first cameo of Human Torch. She said yes. I said, and they got really loud for Gambit. She said, yeah, I didn't understand that. I explained it to her. I was like, they got really loud for Blade. She's just like, yes. I'm like, Elektra, they clapped, but they didn't shout. And she's like, oh, is that the woman with the sigh things? I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, they didn't get loud for her. They just like went, oh, and I was like, yes, because that's how you could tell Marvel fans are super excited about Blade. We're super excited about Channing because we know the history. But Elektra was kind of this other character that you're like, cool, you got a
bum-ass movie.
Yeah, you got to
did her dirty on that movie, man.
And you got a bum ass tattoo, got kicked in the face, and that's how you finished. And that's the reason why that movie tanked.
But not even just that. You got that movie because at the time you were with Ben Affleck and he did Daredevil, and we know that was a major aspect of it. We know that there was a whole thing of like, they're a power couple. Let's put their power, their energy that they have as like public figures together. And we're like, okay, is Jennifer Garner the best for this role? Probably not. She did a very good job, but she wasn't the best for it. So I understand how fans reacted in that theater. So it's stuff like that.
Did anyone else notice that Blade said, there's only one blade or something, or
that's what I was referring to.
That's what Charles was referring to.
That's what I was referring to. So like there was the TV show, and then also that the fact that the movie's not out yet. It was supposed to be out now.
Okay. Yeah, I know. It got. But is it still happening?
Yeah, it's still happening.
Yes.
On the officially on the docket, yes.
Yeah.
Whether or not it actually happens is a different story, but it is officially still in pre-production.
Didn't Lando pull out of that movie?
A bunch of people pulled
Everybody but the actor has pulled out of that movie.
Pretty much everyone has left the project at this point. There's like everyone who's gone in has had to, unfortunately. But I think they
got to sink their teeth into another director.
Boo. Right. Guys, this is the end. We all said our scores 5.5. You gave it 9.5. Jaws, you said 7.5, and Ness, you said 7, right?
7, yeah.
That's a pretty good. The average score comes out to 8.
Ish.
Yeah, ish.
It's pretty high.
Maybe, yeah,
that's really high, actually.
7.5. 7.5.
We like.
So there you go, guys. Overall, and I'm sure if Skinny was here, he'd probably give it he gave it an equally mid. So we'll say 7 to 8 is our range for Deadpool and Wolverine, which I think is fair.
Yeah, it's not movie. It's not meant to be a movie to move the needle. It's
it's
meant to make it that you are not unentertained for 2 hours.
Right. 2 hours and 8 minutes.
Yeah.
I know because I had to rewatch it. But guys, that's it. That's
fast
the whole.
Or not fast.
I only watch certain scenes fast. I sped
that
up.
means he likes the movie more than he's letting on.
No, it's more because I wanted to take notes and I wanted to make sure I saw everything. It's 2 pages of notes and I didn't talk about half the stuff. The fact that he calls him Honey Badger, super deep nerd reference to Gabby Kenny, who is a copy of Laura Kenny, but she has no pain receptors. And at that point, when he calls him that, Wolverine doesn't have any pain because he's drunk. Super nerd stuff. Super nerd stuff, guys.
X22 putting on her
X23,
power glasses.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Power shades.
That
was cute. Shout outs to her coming back. I know it got spoiled in the last trailer, which was a little disappointing to me, but I'm happy that she did get to have her shine and she did get to go on the red carpet, because from my understanding, that was one of the reasons that there was,
if you watched the red carpet stuff, there was a lot of spoilers. They're posing with what's her name, Avril Lavigne. I'm like, oh, Avril Lavigne's there, cool Canadian thing, and then her song comes.
Yeah.
Like, oh. Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we had a lot of fun. We all liked the movie ultimately, so we highly recommend it. If you're watching this, you've probably seen it. If you're watching this and you haven't seen it, well, we spoiled the fuck out of it. But hopefully you enjoyed this. Go to a theater, go see it while it's still in theaters. And that's it. That's the whole show. We'll be back with another one next week. Dave, thanks for coming through. I know you were really excited. Came through to the house to jump on this one. Guys, anything you want to tell the people before we bounce?
I would say check out Transformers Slag, the Toy Armada podcast with Aaron Archer and Matt McMuscles, all on YouTube.
Bong. And a new episode of The Dumbest Timeline is coming out this week, part 2. AI. This episode is called Susu Suing Udio and Suno AI. Yeah. I had to get a little silly with the nickname. We're out. Peace, y'all.